Is there financial mismanagement and a lack of budget constraint at Guahan Academy Charter School? The Guam Department of Education's Internal Audit Office seems to think so. PNC attended the GACS work session this morning, where the IAO revealed GACS' questionable finance practices.
I want to be clear to everybody that I will definitely ensure that the rule is followed.
Guahan Academy Charter School once again called out for their questionable budget, procurement, and finance practices, this time by GDOE's Internal Audit Office. The IAO's chief auditor, Franklin Cooper Nurse, combed through GACS's revised budget and drawdown requests for this fiscal year, and some requests weren't adding up. He writes, quote, "It appears that amounts from other categories were shifted to fund the excess expenditures. A mechanism should be in place to improve transparency of GACS's financial activities," end quote. Typically, financial requests should not exceed the maximum funding allotted to each institution. However, IAO notes that GACS exceeded their requests by nearly $2 million. Cooper warns, quote, "This indicates that GACS is not monitoring its revenues and expenditures and poses a risk for fiscal mismanagement." On top of these concerns, the audit says a gross lack of documentation, invoices, and payment to vendors were not supplied to the IAO. In fact, as of last month, 16 invoices totaling $428,000 were not yet validated. One of those invoices includes payment for hotel accommodations to the 5-star Dusitani Resort and Hotel. Viewers may recall that PNC reported over $10,000 were spent so board members could host a luxurious retreat. Cooper says the invoice was not validated because it was questionable in nature. At the meeting this morning, the council listened from Guam Education Board members about the possibility of severing financial ties with GDOE. The Board of Trustees were not present at this week's work session, so the council mulled options as to how to garner a response from the trustees.
In terms of fiscal mismanagement, I think you have a lot of eyes on the issues right now that, hopefully we can strengthen what they have. We don't want to be in the business of shutting down schools or doing certain things. We want to make sure it's feasibly sound. And I think that's the thing when you're operating in the public's trust, everybody wants to know where those scarce resources are going to. So for me, my standpoint is I want to definitely see what they're doing, and if they can fix it, fix it. And if not, then of course that's up to this council to make the determination.
But with the school's accountability and transparency called into question, plus the now imposing risk of financial mismanagement, how will students of GACS be affected? That's one issue that still remains unclear. Reporting for PNC News, I'm Rebecca Elmore. You can read the entire internal audit report online at pacificnewscenter.com.